Hello and welcome to Loving Me, Myself, and Life with me, Jody Misiak. Today I want to talk about, when you're walking along and you're feeling good, and then something happens in your life to just kind of either knock you off your feet, change up your schedule, kind of get you off routine. And it can happen in so many different ways. I know for me, it has definitely all over the place. As a mom, it definitely, even as I'm recording this, I had to change up my day today because my son's class thing got moved time-wise. So, sometimes we got to go with the flow. But what happens if that flow is just so knocked off the flow? Like you're in a different river, you're in one river up, or you find yourself way upstream. I encourage you to go back to basics. So, for instance, say any holiday, really, you're eating healthy, and all of a sudden it's a holiday, or, you go out to a barbecue or a party or whatever, and it takes you off your eating habits. And then you're like, oh, well, I'm here now. And you just keep going that way. And you look back and it might be a month or 2 or 3 or 4, and you're kind of off track. It's just taking baby steps. You don't have to change your eating right overnight. You can just start with maybe including more vegetables or reducing the sugar or caffeine or whatever it is that you want. Like, I'm not here to tell you how to eat healthy. I'm just giving you an example, right? About food. Same with exercise or moving your body in healthy ways. It's like, oh, I haven't moved in a while. Maybe I should do this. And it's just starting with baby steps. You don't have to do all or nothing. Same with meditation or journaling, yoga, all these things. We don't, if you found yourself like you were really diligent in your yoga practice or even meditation practice or journaling or gratitude practice, whatever it might be. Maybe you're really good, like you were showing up every day or mostly every day. And then all of a sudden something happened in your life and you kind of got off track. It's not so much about getting right back to where you were before you got off track, because maybe it took you years to get to that point. The thing is, sometimes we just have to get back to basics, kind of like beginner mode again. Maybe you haven't done something for a very long time. You're not going to be expected to do it like as well as you did when you stopped. It takes time, practice. Our bodies, if you go from not working out for a long time and then you just jump to where you were, like say you were working out and you're lifting super heavy weights or whatever it was, your body is going to scream at you hardcore. So just ease into anything via meditation practice, yoga, working out, going for walks even. Like maybe you love walking and you used to walk 5 kilometers or more, or like somewhere in there, and then you haven't for a long time. You don't have to go all the way to 5 right away. Just start with whatever you feel comfortable. And this again goes for any area of your life, is getting back to basics. So if you feel like you're off track in any area of your life, really any area, it could even be clutter in your house. And boy, do I know that all too well. We finally, with our move, we got to release a lot of clutter with our move. I don't like clutter. I'm not a fan of clutter. However, that was not represented in our old house. But that clutter didn't happen overnight. It happened we were doing renovations in our basement so I could have an office. We moved everything out to a storage unit. And then we had our son, and it just wasn't like we had to stop. It wasn't happening. So we put everything in the basement just kind of as is. And then I had a C-section. So my husband had to do everything around the house, and you get to see the picture. And then I had another operation, and it's just like life got in the way. Life literally got in the way. And that clutter, like it just kept building. And the more I tried to just get to like no clutter, the more stressed out I got. That can be the same if you've gotten off track in somewhere in your life that you'd like to get back on. Anywhere. If you try so hard to get back to where you used to be, you're going to feel defeated, overwhelmed, exhausted before you even begin. So it's just starting with the basics, wherever that is in whatever area of your life it is. It can just feel so overwhelming if you try to get back to where you were when you stopped doing that thing. I even think about when I was doing running, I was in a running group when my daughter was born. I decided I want to try running. And they were focused on getting us to 5 kilometers. But we didn't just start running at 5 kilometers. We started walking. And then we started walking and running. And then and it was more walking than running. And then eventually it got to more running than walking. And that is really what it's like when we get back into a habit or a thing that we really want to do. And, it might feel like, I want to just get back to that point. Or, you just get frustrated or you just really want to get there. And you're like, just get me there right now. Just focus on the basics first. And I promise you, like, if you've done it before, it won't take you as long as the first time. But if you focus on getting right to where you were before, I don't want to say you will trip up, but it might trip you up. And obviously, again, like, you got to do you. So just take my advice with a grain of salt, because I don't know what area I'm talking into here for you. But I personally find that when I get off track of something, I want to get back to what I was doing. Like, I want to do it all at once. And here's an example. So, with the move and things, I really just focus on packing and, my eating kind of fell to the wayside, and sleep I didn't sleep at all when we were packing and moving. It went really the opposite direction of where I was. And I went way far. I was far gone on any of my self-care, even self-love practices. A lot of that went, other than meditation. I leaned into meditation and read some inspirational books or audio books while I was moving. So I did have a little bit, but I was pretty far on the other spectrum of where I wanted to be. But I have this tendency to just jump in and make sure I get back to everything I was doing. Like, so focus on moving my body, eating well, sleeping. Like, I just do it all at once. Sometimes it works out for me. Sometimes it does not. So when I say get back to basics, it's even just focusing on one area in your life. So maybe it's getting enough sleep, or eating healthier foods, or focus on healthy eating, or moving your body, or, more self-care, self-love practices. Like, so doing more things for you. Maybe you need to find more me time, but you don't have to do it all at once, all like at the right, like it's that perfectionism of me. Like, I just want to do it all now kind of thing. Make it happen now. And it can trip you up. I know it has for me, where then it just is like, I can't do this. Like, I tell my kids, you don't say that. It's like, I don't want to do this. But anyways, it can get overwhelming. And then we just give up completely. So it's about baby steps, little by little. And you can write down what areas you want to improve or change if that makes you feel better, but you don't have to focus on them all the time. And this technique really was really important when I wasn't sleeping for those 2 years where my son, did not sleep through the night. And my biggest focus was like mental health, because if I didn't lean on inspiration and motivation, I think I would have fallen apart those 2 years. I really deep dived into meditations, self-love, and just really sent myself a lot of love. And then when I felt at a better place, I could eat a little bit better, do some other things for my body and things like that. But life is full of changes and challenges and crazinesses. So if you put too much pressure on yourself, then you just actually cause more stress in your life. So if you're really stressed out right now, but you want to get some kind of schedule, grounding, or just feel good again, start small. Because if you try to do it all like right from the gate, you're just going to add more stress to your life. And it's so, so important to not do that if you can help it. Life has its own stresses. Everybody has stress. And you don't need to stress yourself out by trying to do too much too fast. So start with the basics and, baby steps towards the direction you want to go. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. Bye for now.